Welcome to episode 27 of the T40's podcast. You're here with me, Ryan, and
Benson.
Alex.
And I'm Michael, and think of the kids, guys.
we'll get to that.
No, we aren't. Fortunately,
God damn it.
we are not talking about that.
We got a good show for you today. We can talk beer of the week. Mike's going to talk about weddings. Alex is going to talk about vegans and their terrible foods.
No, vegetarians.
Vegetarians too, whatever. Same thing.
Lump them all
It's
together.
not the same
And
thing.
Kevin's going to talk about ads on movies. We
Oh,
also
very
got
different.
top 3 movies and top 5 most wanted. Again, if you want to tell us anything interesting or not even interesting at all, you can email us at podcast@tipping40s.com or 218-666-8407.
I will.
So we didn't...
Love the podcast, guys. Signed me.
I don't think we had any voicemails this week.
No.
Do we have any emails worth talking about?
We had a couple. I gotta bring them up. Let me bring
I
them
didn't
up
see
real quick.
anyone. I was looking through them.
This one was pretty good. The one about Mississippi having an amendment. It ended up not passing, but there was an amendment where they said that any type of birth control essentially was considered murder.
They're saying personhood started
considered
at
what?
conception.
I couldn't hear you because Ryan was talking.
I was trying to explain what the bill... What the
I didn't hear what he said. Considered what?
So basically, they said any baby that's any conception that's occurred that you basically hinder, whether it's birth control or morning after pill or abortion, is considered illegal.
Okay.
Or I don't know how severe the charge was, but I think it may have
Well,
been
that was the
manslaughter.
implications of the amendment if it were to pass.
Yeah, they didn't write it right. At first, it was supposed to be just for abortions, but they wrote it so sloppily, it basically implied that if you took birth control, you'd be a murderer. So they did not pass that. Even extremely conservative Mississippi was like, that's retarded as hell. Also, Michael Diekman, if I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. He said he tried St. Bernardus. He said it was tasty.
It's pretty good beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
There's a lot of different types of them too.
See,
One of my
and it
favorites.
was for his 21st, so now he can actually drink good beers. It's not like homeless person.
Dude, my friend got a pack of Coors Light.
Yeah. Or it's like, I got his leftovers, so it's like 2 Zimas, a MGD, a Smirnoff Ice, and, So it's, that's a good way to start. Now you have free choice and your ability to fully pursue
So now you're like
alcoholism.
Orson Welles. You started out so high. Now,
Yeah, if you have the
as well.
ability to be disappointed in drinking everything else the rest of your life.
You'll drink high-end stuff, go broke, and then you'll start back where you...
Start with the best and
Yeah.
move your way down.
On the subject of beers, the beer of the week is Spaten Oktoberfest because it was in my fridge.
It's good beer.
Yeah, it's an Oktoberfest beer, so it kind of has that more of a spice taste to it.
I don't think it's that good.
I like it.
It's way better on tap, I'll say. The bottle stuff is kind of mild.
Seems kind of bland and just. I mean,
I think it's good, but
It is one of the milder.
Optimator's better.
Well,
it's
that's a
one of the
different
less.
beer.
I mean, just because a beer is not carbonated doesn't mean it's not good. This is very little carbonation in it. I guess I can say. I don't know the way to put it, but
Yeah, the beer's from Germany, obviously. It's 5.9%. It's a milder Oktoberfest, but, it's better than a lot of stuff.
most of Spaten's beers are kind of smooth and mild. So
Yeah. I can't really think of any that have a bite to them, really.
Steel Reserve.
That's made by Spaten.
Spaten.
Spaten Steel Reserve.
Off-brand.
as one of our friends calls it, popsicle beer because it has 2 spades on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
it
popsicle.
does
It
look like
does-
a
it
popsicle.
looks like a
Someone roommate
popsicle.
calls it popsicle
Or it looks
beer.
like a bell pepper with a long stem on it or something.
Okay.
Sure.
This is like looking at clouds here.
Moving on.
Visual discussions are the best on audio podcasts.
Right?
So, Mike, you got something to say about...
Yeah, we actually got an email. I wanted to bring it up when we were actually talking about it, but someone brought up marriage. I think it was this one. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I don't... Where the hell is it?
You coming prepared here.
Preparation.
I have it right here.
Okay. I thought you had it up. That's why.
He's
I
got
thought you were
it.
going to talk about it, but Steve sent us an email congratulating Bandunk Mike for his marriage. He was also wondering about what his thoughts were on the whole marriage thing, seeing how there's like a 50% divorce rate and married people are never happy and stuff.
Well, you actually found the divorce rates. I don't know if you still have them up. But
I don't have them up because you said you didn't want them.
I remember them in my head. If you want to know them,
Yeah, I know that
Yeah, I
third
know.
marriage was 74%, which is hilarious.
second was 60. Second marriage was 67% divorce rate, and first was 50%.
Okay, so if you got married more than twice, just don't get married again. It's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Well, the point is really
I am
that
the 26%.
If you got married your first time, your chances are 50-50 of staying in that marriage for, I'm assuming they're talking about
I mean, that is a statistic.
Yeah, I don't know how
permanently,
that
or I
works.
don't know
Depends
there's
if
a
you're
certain-
going into a marriage correctly or not. I mean, some people.
Well, yeah, but this is just a
Yeah.
basic statistic, so it doesn't measure any of that shit. But
Anyway, Steve was wondering what our thoughts are on the 50% divorce rate, legal battles, place of marriage in the 21st century, etc.
Okay, well, that's a good question, and this is probably the only article I've never done research for, but I kind of didn't need to because
I think it's better that we didn't actually.
yeah. I mean, also, when I got engaged, this was something I thought of honestly. There's a lot of negatives to marriage, and I think everyone knows someone who has had awful divorces and stuff. But
Well, let's
first off,
just look at us. I mean, the two of you, your parents are both still together.
Yep.
Right.
Ryan and
Yeah.
Alex. Whereas Mike and I, both of us have parents that have been divorced, and I have parents that have been divorced twice. Well,
oh, okay,
one of them,
yeah, that's true.
my mother has. So, yeah, I mean, if you just look at even that stat, like, is represented among us, just the four of us. So,
Yeah, I mean, there's, and even divorce, like if I count my brothers and stepsisters and stuff, it's pretty high. But for me, I guess the way I look at it is, if you're with someone for a long time, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know how to look at it, marriage is considered the pinnacle of commitment. It's the top
I
level.
thought that was being a Packers fan.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously. You gotta wear Cheesehead, And you have to move on from Favre to Rodgers. But, it's
not hard
tough.
to do.
Yeah, not hard to do because one throws interceptions.
chairman of the board is a good level.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, it's considered a pinnacle of commitment, and if you're in a long-term relationship, there's something that you always have to worry about, which is doubt. And if you don't get married to somebody eventually, you're going to create doubt in them because most people have this thought that marriage is this pinnacle. And so if you don't do that, they go, well, why isn't this person committing to me? So now you're creating doubt in them. Once they have doubt, eventually the relationship will end.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I don't really have that fear, but I, at the same time, respect the other person's fear. I know I'll never change their opinion. Like, hey, marriage is just a completely made-up thing. You can never convince someone of that. It's inundated on them, and I totally understand that. So, if I'm with someone I was with Ellie for 3.5 years when we got actually married, and we're 2.5 when we got engaged. It's kind of like a shit or get off the pot moment. It's like, if I'm doubting this relationship at this point, I probably should just go. I should probably, find something else. And the other thing, the reason I think so many marriages fail is I think people are delusional about marriage. I think that
That's definitely true.
They go into marriage, a lot of people, and they think that this person's going to be like, I actually went to a wedding yesterday. I don't know if you guys knew this.
No,
and
shit, you go to so many weddings.
I know,
Yeah, I know.
it sucked too.
Well, he's at that age. You're right at the age where all the people start getting
Yeah,
married.
it sucked too. It was boring. Anyways, it was nice, but boring. But the priest said, or the minister said, this love will be stronger than anything you've ever felt. And I disagree. I think when you first meet a woman and you have that connection, that is the most intense moment with someone. And then everything after that is kind of a slow burn. It is.
It's kind of true.
It is.
It's kind of true.
And that's where people get in trouble because no matter what, no matter how perfect you think your relationships you say it's going to be, there's going to be a point where you're going to hit a rough spot and it's going to last a few months. And during that time, I don't know how it works, but someone always comes out of the woodwork, this great person that's probably fairly compatible with you, and you're like, wow, this person gives me so many things the person I'm married to doesn't give me.
Buyer's regret.
Yeah. And so then they make a choice. Then they cheat or they have doubt. And either way, that's going to end your marriage. And the way I look at it is and it's really hard. You have to constantly go to yourself and go, well, I don't know who the fuck this person is. You know, yeah, 0 to 3 months may be great with this woman, but she may be a complete psycho. Yeah. Or, you know...
I like talking to her for 2 hours, but, you know, who knows what else.
Yeah. I don't know anything about this woman. I had the same experience with my wife when I first met her. You know, like, those are the things people need to look at, but they don't. And I think that's why a lot of people have problems in their marriages.
Well, how do you feel about marriages that end after 20 years?
I think it's really the same issues that cause it. I think there's always doubt. I think that only happens in situations where they're trying to stick it out. Yeah, I mean, my parents were married for 23 years.
Right.
And they had pockets where it was awful. And
I want to see the stats on percentage of marriages that end in divorce when they have kids and when they don't have kids.
Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of marriages stick even though the people don't like each other because like these are too scary for them to get separated.
But a lot of times having kids also causes them to not like each other as much because you know, possible differences of opinions about how to raise and stuff like that, or the amount of stress they incur on them.
Yeah, and then they have this stressful interaction with each other, and then they go to work and they meet this great person and they're like, oh, this person's great. But it's like, yeah, but eventually you would have kids with them and you're an idiot. Like, don't think about it. Like, but the other thing is, you see it all the time, and my parents did it too. Once the kids graduate, the distraction's not there.
Yeah.
And all those problems they didn't deal with all those years, they blow up.
Yeah, because my parents went through the same thing. Once my youngest sister went for college, they started to have problems because, well, there wasn't anything else to bitch about.
My parents are the exact opposite. They fucking love it. There's no more kids.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. Like my boss and his wife have gone way better.
They're going on vacations all the time, just doing whatever the hell they want. Dad drinks all the time now.
Yeah, but I mean that's my opinion. What are your guys' opinions on?
Oh, I agree with you. I thought you made a lot of really good points, especially about how people are like, oh, it's terrible. I have to come on to all these stressful things, but that's what you have to deal with no matter what. Mm-hmm. Even if you decide to do that with someone else that you met somewhere else.
I kind of find it funny that a lot of people in life are so obsessed with getting married. Like they're so intent. Like it is something that has to be done for themselves.
I think that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that a lot of people turn it into something you have to do instead of something that
it's like you feel like a failure if you're not married.
Yeah.
I think it's something you progress to. It's not a goal. Like you don't go I'm going to get married.
Families do actually put that on you too. They feel like you're a failure if you're not married as well. It's not just yourself. A lot of families.
Yeah, it's not like fucking getting a job or a degree. It's not like you're almost to your marriage credits. Yeah. No.
I'm pretty much a failure in
marriage
every way.
Shouldn't be
pretty much on every level.
I think a lot of people see marriage as the goal when it really should just be an outcome of something else.
Yes, that's the best way.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
And I hate those. I see this Match.com ad. He's like, it's like, so why'd you join Match? And this guy's standing there. He's like, well, I'm not just there to meet a great woman. I'm here to meet the woman that I'm going to marry. And I'm like, well, you're going to fail. You're fucked. You will never succeed.
You're supposed to be there to meet the great woman. That's the point, because they're supposed to match with someone who you like. It's not the point. It's like, hey, you're going to get married right after you meet this person.
That's why I hate eHarmony and all these sites. It just creates psychopaths. And
I find it hard to respect people who get married under the age of 23, to be honest with you. Even I mean, obviously I know that your wife is younger than you. But even people who get married exactly. Even people who get married like at 23 or even a couple of years older, I still am very doubtful about them. Now, in your case, it's not as bad because I know you very well and I know her pretty well now. But I think that there's a lot of cases where people get married and when you're in your early 20s, you're not the person that you're going to be for the rest of your life yet. Yeah, that's not who you are yet. I mean, you're still completely changing as a person. It's not as big as like when you're 18, but it's still pretty big. Like,
and I think that when long-term relationships do end, that is a huge reason. Is because they were right for each other, and maybe they did everything right. They didn't really have the doubt thing or anything, but then they didn't deal with the changes that each person had, and they separate, and then 20 years later they're like, man, I have nothing fucking common with you at all.
Another thing going off that kind of is I have no respect for people who marry the first person they ever meet.
Right.
Because like you've
Dude,
never
isn't it horrible though when you see those and it's very, very rare, but when you see those and they actually work And you're like, you
enrages
fucking
me.
assholes.
They don't
They just
have,
get lucky then.
Like the first relationship you ever get, if you ever be in, is basically a trial relationship.
Yeah.
You have no clue of what you're doing. You have no clue of how to make shit work with the other person. It's there, so you have the experience. You're eventually going to break up, and then hopefully learn from that to move on to the next person.
Yeah, I mean, all of our first relationships. I mean, your first relationship in high school was awful.
Mine was terrible. Yeah.
Mine was awful.
I wanted to say off what he was saying for about when you're too young. I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I think any time in my life before I was 22, like everything I did was completely retarded. So,
No, yeah, me too.
So if anyone out there that's that young, just wait till you're a bit older and think about what
then
you're doing.
look back at yourself.
And you'll be like, man, I was so.
Actually,
You're asking
stupid.
Americans here to be self-reflective on their
No,
lifestyles.
here's
This
a
is never
great
going to
thing to
happen.
do.
Yeah, but see, you're being really what's the facetious would be the best word about it. You're assuming that people aren't able to do that when the fact is that they're not encouraged to do that by our society. It's not their inability, but people always look back at the good times and not really look back at the stupid shit they did and try to learn from it. Like,
Dude,
it's not encouraged enough.
I don't know. I'm the complete but I'm weird too. But I seriously go, man, if I met myself at 19, I would want to punch him in the face.
same here.
I hated that person. Think back.
Yeah, well,
I
think
hate that person.
honestly, I think most people feel that way. Really,
I just, as an experiment, if any 19-year-olds listening, just record yourself saying what you like. Okay?
Put it in a time capsule. Wait about 7 to 10 years.
Don't watch it once. Watch it 10 years later, and you will be like, fucking hate this person. This person's an idiot. Yeah. And if you don't think that, and you're like, I'm the same person, then you need to reassess your life.
yeah, there's going to be that person
bizarre
for the rest
happening.
of your life. Yeah,
Like it's a bubble. I don't understand.
Blast from the past or something.
So slightly off topic, I know it was in the email that someone relayed. What do you think about the whole gay marriage thing coming up? Because a lot of people, like, there's religious reasons why people don't want that to happen, but a lot of people are like, well, the guy Steve here in the email says, oh, gays can get married now, great, now they can be miserable like everyone else.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think our country's stupid because one, we reward people for getting married
Taxes.
significantly. I mean, it's thousands of dollars. They just give you thousands of dollars. They go, here you go. Here's a bunch of money for no reason at all. And it's stupid.
Of all the first world, we live in one of the more traditionalized countries.
Yeah,
so
it's really
makes
awful.
sense.
It's stupid. It's unfair. But and now I'm exploiting it. But the thing is that, you know, as much as I hate organized religion, it is their right to do whatever the hell they want. You know, if they don't want to acknowledge gay marriage, that's fine. But the problem is that we define it as marriage by our government.
Yeah.
So we named
that's
Christian thing.
That's the thing I don't understand. Like, marriage, like you said, if the religion, like if the Roman Catholic Church says gay marriage is evil, whatever, that's their opinion. But at the same time, the government should be able to, de facto in law, say if these people want to be married, they should have the benefits of marriage under the legal system.
Yeah, I think
that's exactly it.
I think everything should be defined. Actually, well, personally, I think all benefits for being married should be eliminated. But if that cannot happen, I think it should be redefined as civil union.
Yeah.
Everyone has civil unions, and then who gives a shit?
Marriage
I agree with
traditionally,
that
Everyone gets the
completely.
same.
yeah, marriage traditionally has been reflected as a religious commitment.
Yeah,
So
I don't.
If you get rid of that marriage thing, I guess what are called civil unions.
Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
is the politically correct, non-religious.
But some people oppose
version of
that
it.
for gays too, which is ridiculous.
I think honestly, gay marriages once it's not such an issue, which is going to happen within probably the next 15 to 20 years.
Yeah,
It'll
once
be-
the old people die.
It's basically pretty much But I think that once it's not considered a big issue, I think that gay marriages will probably be much stronger than traditional marriages.
It's actually-
I don't know, and this is the only reason why. Imagine two dudes being married to each other.
That's why I think so.
Dude, I don't know. I can't imagine being a gay man because it's like, man, I love having sex, and then every person that you like are the same way. They're like, man, I have no inhibitions about sex.
Yeah,
just
but
like straight men. Straight men and gay men
I've
are
known
the same
several
way.
gay couples, and I mean, most of them have been in pretty stable relationships that I've known. But more so, they're a lot more open about stuff like that, and not necessarily in open relationships. I mean, some of them are.
Some of them are, yeah.
But some
that's
of them
what
aren't.
I've
But they
understood.
just go, well, if you tell me that you want to have sex with someone, then at least I know what you're feeling about it.
Then maybe we both can.
Just imagine telling a woman you want to have sex with someone else. They would lose their fucking shit
but,
on you.
But imagine like you walked up to imagine you were in a bar and you sat there and you're single and a girl walked up and said, I just want to fuck you. It'd be like, are you trying to steal my organs?
I wouldn't believe that at all.
But in gay culture, that makes sense because it's two guys. So if everyone was like, I can't imagine.
But that's
why
like
a constant flow.
I wish I was gay, dude. It'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it'd be kind of awesome.
It'd be pretty easy.
It'd be so easy.
And see, and for open relationships, that have to be way easier too because it's like two guys going, yeah, I want to fuck good. Yeah, let's both do that. Yeah,
Let's
we're
both
cool.
do it.
Yeah, and I think that I think the difference is that there's this myth that men and women both want the same things, but men are worse at giving it and stuff like that, which is why all these relationships end, which is not a fact at all. Men and women want completely different things, and men. They're like completely different worlds, and I just think that it makes more sense that they would understand what the other person wants.
I actually don't think inherently that people want different things like men and women. I just think that the media and how people are shaped.
Well, that's my point though. That's my point though, because it doesn't matter what the road was to get there. The fact is that
it's there.
People are convinced of different things whether they want to be or not. So, but we're off on a tangent. I guess
women like flowers. Guys like football.
Okay, I think we're done with this.
That's kind of true.
Yeah. We gotta go.
Pretty true, actually.
So we're gonna move on, I guess, to Alex. What do you got to say about people who don't eat meat?
All right, let's talk about vegetarians and vegans. So first of all, I got no problem with people who are vegetarians or vegans. If you don't want to eat meat, that's fine. Some people have good reasons for not eating it. Some people don't. Most vegans don't have good reasons for being vegan, but that's a completely different thing, so let's not even talk about that.
Yeah, you said it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think maybe you
It's not
should
even
explain the
close.
difference to him.
No. I'm not gonna explain the difference.
It's a fucking joke.
So I'll get straight to it. So the problem I have is
Right.
if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, stop eating vegetarian meats. I'm talking about garden burgers, veggie bacon, or other meat products that are turned into soy products that have been created so they look exactly the same as some other type of meat. And this pisses me off so much because why are you doing this when you can just be eating vegetables? Oh, but I want to eat bacon, but you can't. Why don't you eat some pasta? Eat some Mexican food with beans and vegetables. What are you doing?
If you really want to eat meat so bad, then eat meat. That's the problem. These people...
It's like giving a person that was addicted to heroin methadone.
Yeah,
it's here. This will hold you off, but you'll still be addicted to it and completely incapable of life without it. It's like, oh, okay.
So I think vegetarians do this. They do this because they want to eat meat so bad that they have to buy the imitation meat instead of just forgetting about meat altogether. The people who do this are vegetarians for the wrong reasons. The people that are vegetarians for the right reasons, they go, oh, well, yeah, I don't need to eat that. I don't want to eat that. I'll eat something else. It's fine. But everyone else is like, oh, I got to have that fake bacon. Yes, I got to have you guys are eating burgers. Got to get you some soy burgers. No, you don't.
Okay. One of the worst things about this is when they go, it tastes even better.
Oh, no. Okay, that was another thing I was going to say.
You are lying.
It tastes so bad compared to it. It's not even, it doesn't taste the same at all.
They're disgusting.
Okay, one time I ate, I was at a recording studio and the owner of it was a vegan. And he was like, hey man, I got you guys some chicken wings. Or no, he said I got you guys some wings. I'm sorry, wings. And
wings of what?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Soy wings.
So we're like, you got wings? That's cool. Like you're vegan. He goes, no man, they're tofu wings.
Ooh.
And dude, you open them up, and my friend from back home, Chad Jacobson, this is the way to describe it. You know those French toast, mini French toasts from Burger King?
Yeah.
Imagine those, like a little bit more deep fried, and then dipping them, just dousing them in hot sauce.
Oh.
That is what it tasted like, and texturally it tastes like. It was awful, and him and his girlfriend were just eating them up like they loved it.
They love them.
Yeah, and we were just sitting there like, these are gross.
Did you say that?
Yeah, we did. We were like, man, these are not good. He did not say though it's just as good. But I've heard that a lot with soy burgers, which honestly is probably the best substitute.
Yeah, it is.
Easily.
Yeah.
Have you ever had fake bacon?
Dude, fake bacon.
Oh.
I've gotten that though with fake bacon. specifically. Yeah.
So, like, the people that are doing that, I think they're almost always ones that are vegetarians because of ethical treatment for animals or whatever.
Yes.
Because the other, like, oh, I want that meat, but I just don't want to hurt an animal.
But then they're wearing shoes that were sewn by some, Indonesian kid that makes like 5 cents a day, but whatever.
Yeah. We can go on to that forever. But then I also kind of thought of the same thing with turkey bacon. So turkey bacon would never exist without real bacon. There's no way that would ever cook because it just isn't good.
Yeah, it's not very
So
Yeah,
it's just fake version of real meat that people want to eat so bad, don't want to eat something instead of eating something unhealthy. So why don't you just eat normal bacon or something else?
It's true.
Well, if, I don't, like, there are certain things that I can eat. I don't like it as much, but, like, ground turkey I don't think tastes as good as ground beef, but I don't think it tastes bad, and I can eat it if it's prepared well.
And I honestly can eat turkey bacon. I just don't prefer it.
Yeah, I don't really like turkey bacon. I think it tastes
It
weird.
tastes like liquid
Just what I'm
smoke.
saying is,
Yeah.
people are eating that because they want to eat bacon, but they don't want it to be unhealthy. So just eat something else, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't, and also it doesn't teach people to eat right anyways
Yes,
in that
exactly, and
case.
it doesn't
they're
taste
just,
near as good,
they're just
so.
jonesing for the thing that they'll just eventually cheat with. So.
What do you think, Ryan? You're a food person.
I don't know. I avoid non-meat products at all costs. So I
what
don't
is
like.
It's like plants, fruits,
No,
rabbit food.
I don't know. I've had soy burgers before, and they are bad. But I mean,
That is the best substitute one. Mike is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
is.
sometimes they're actually really good.
They can actually taste good. They don't taste like a burger.
No,
But
no.
they can
People that
actually
say that are
taste-
idiots.
They can actually
How do you
taste
want
good,
your
though.
garden burger cooked? Rare.
Done.
Yeah, done.
Gray.
That's all there is. It's either done or not done.
Right. Not mealy.
I don't know.
Mealy.
I got to disagree with you on the health aspect thing, because even if something doesn't taste quite as good, but you still enjoy it, and you want to eat the original thing, then having something that's a lot better for you, because, I mean, make no mistake, turkey is way better for you than red meat. I mean, just it is in general.
Yeah.
So eating that, if you still enjoy the taste of it, even if you don't like it quite as much, if you substitute it, and it doesn't have to be all the time, but on a semi-regular basis, instead of eating that, then you're not really losing anything other than, maybe you go, oh, well,
I feel it's the same
sometimes-
way as eating diet soda. You're just drinking something you want the taste, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it does.
You can't
Yeah, but
have something that's more
but
healthy.
like I'm saying that, I don't think it tastes like shit. I just think it doesn't taste quite as good. Diet soda, I think, tastes disgusting, which is why I'll never drink diet soda.
Right.
But if you enjoy it, then I think it's fine, even if you don't enjoy it quite as much. I don't.
Or if you're diabetic.
I just think it tastes nasty. So
Yeah. Well, plus people, I think sometimes you get tired of eating the same thing too. I mean, you just go like,
Yeah, you
you
don't have
know,
much
I'll eat
variety.
some turkey.
well, yeah, if you're a
because-
vegetarian or a vegan, you don't got much variety.
Oh yeah, well,
especially if
yeah,
you're a
they
vegan.
don't at all.
I will say though that I often hear this argument too, that they go, well, meat destroys the environment, and it's like, well, that's true, but
So does
you're
driving a
eating
car,
Yeah,
I mean.
but also so do soybeans.
Yeah, I know.
Soybean yields are out of control, and they're horrible for the environment. So you're doing the same fucking thing. You can't sit there all smug eating your crappy bacon. Sorry, dude, you're doing the same thing.
They're the same people who are obsessed with like organic foods and stuff too, and when they have no idea what organic food means. It's the same.
It means that someone
Same.
checked the box that said organic.
That's exactly
my,
what it
my
means.
and their
favorite-
yields were below a certain
My
threshold.
favorite are the ones that are the people who try to go for gluten free that don't have celiacs, because they just they think just because something is gluten free
Yeah.
it's better for them.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
tell you
I'm having
something.
Gluten-free things
cake.
taste bad.
Gluten-free bread
Yeah.
was maybe the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life. Not the worst thing I've ever, but the worst thing, probably the worst thing I've eaten where someone told
Dude,
me
it just
this is really good,
crumbles.
and I ate it.
Gross.
It tasted like sand. It tasted like eating sand.
Yeah, it just
was
crumbles.
It was disgusting, and
It's like grit feel when you're chewing, like when you chew sand in your mouth at the beach.
I seriously and
It just crumbles. in
I
your mouth.
ate it the one time and I was like, I'll try it once more because maybe that was like a bad batch or something, because I didn't buy it. Someone else gave it to me. And they're like, they had more. I'm like, here, I'm making a sandwich with it. And I ate the second one. I'm like, I'm never eating this
So
shit
it's kind of
again.
like
This is the worst
Gremlins
thing.
1. You're like, this movie wasn't very good. So then you watch the new batch. and it was also not good.
Yeah, but I fed it after midnight.
Again,
Oh, yeah.
we have just gotten off topic,
Oh, yeah.
so we're moving
I
on.
wanted to kill the conversation. Kill 2 conversations in a
Does she have
row.
any more?
Nope, that's it.
Yep.
Nothing else to say.
Yes.
It's like, that's it.
Kevin, what do you got?
Okay, I want to talk about trick ads. I'm getting...
Punch
Oh,
monkey
like
and win?
stuff with extreme like bagel bites, like Tony
No,
Hawk
no,
trick
no,
ads.
not Tony Hawk trick
Punch
ads.
the monkey and win.
I'm talking about some... No, not those either. Those are
I actually
the
won a
old
monkey from
style.
that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, high school.
There are worse...
Talk about on SourceForge where there's 1 million download.
Oh, I hate those.
Those are one of them. Those are one of them.
Download software. here.
Download here. Download here. No, it's actually
SourceForge does have that. Other sites have
Pirate
that
Bay.
too. That wasn't the first one I was going to talk about, but we'll start with those.
Okay.
Yeah, sites that have ads that pertain to what's on the site and try to trick you into clicking them without knowing it's an ad.
Those
Now,
are like targeted, man.
it's
Those
really
work.
bad.
those work the best.
Oh yeah, they're the most effective ads of all. And sometimes when I'm on a site like that, like there's a sites like File Hippo and shit like that. They're all the same. Where you look at it and there's like a little download now link, and above and below it are giant download now buttons.
It's always the smallest one. You're
Yeah,
right.
it
Yeah.
Yeah, it always is.
It's-
It's always the one that's hardest to see.
Now that you've been conditioned, your mind has to work like the backwards way. It's like this would be the most obvious place I would click. It's going to be this one.
Yeah.
I
It could be
feel
other
really
one.
bad for all like the 50-year-old people in the world that go to their sites because people who don't know the internet.
50-year-old people don't go to file sites
Well.
to download shit because they bring it to their grandson.
Geek Squad.
I guess not 50, but
Getting Norton.
They have it on a floppy drive.
so that was one type that bothers me. But there's some other ones that are even pissing me off even more than that. Okay, here's a massive offender that's just started doing this, but also will say GameSpot's done this for a long time, and I don't go to that site anymore, but they used to do it all the time. Now Rotten Tomatoes has started doing this, and I found it very hard to browse their site sometimes. They have obviously they have it's in
I know what you're
it's
gonna
in a
say.
div. The whole site is in a div.
I know what you're gonna say.
Behind the layer, on this background layer, is an ad. And if you click anywhere outside of the
Yep.
main div,
Yeah.
you
Hate
hit
that
the
shit.
ad. And here's the best part about it, though. It's even worse because
You're actually not telling
one-
about that, I thought, but
Oh no, I'm talking about. There's one. I have other ones too. There's one behind that sits behind that just started, which is a Harry Potter ad, and none of the Harry Potter content shows up on the sides of the page. So the entire content of the ad is behind the page where you can't see it. So there's no way for you to tell it's an ad unless you see your mouse pointer become a hand.
I don't know about you
instead of-
guys, but every single time I go to a website, I instantly click on the side so I can
to
scroll right-
focus the
yeah.
page. Yes, you can scroll. Yes, and this is taking advantage of that. They know people do it.
that is so shitty that they did it without a picture there, though. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
the picture is hidden behind the page, so they
Oh,
could go like, "Oh, there's a
God.
picture," but it's not there. Now, here's another one.
assholes.
Now I use AdBlock on my browser
Mm-hmm.
because of things like this. Even it doesn't even work on that. It still doesn't
It's
work.
built
on
in
it.
the CSS. You
I
can't-
guess I don't know. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know fucking shit about AdBlock. All I know is it doesn't do anything, and so the ad's still there. And now the worst thing is when I accidentally click on one of these ads, I have to go back in my browser, which means because stuff isn't cached as heavily as it used to be back when the internet was super fucking slow. It's not as slow anymore, so stuff isn't cached unless it has to be. So it has to reload the whole page before it auto scrolls back down to where I was on the page, which takes like 5 to 10 fucking seconds every time. I did it 3 times in a row because it's impossible to remember because you're on another thing and you click back in your browser. Oh, fucking site. Now I have to go to the Harry Potter ad. And
See, I never click in the page. I always click on the scroll bar. So that's why I don't.
I don't do that.
I don't do that
I
either.
always
I don't
click
know
on the
why.
page.
I always have. It's weird.
So there's that. And another thing that really pisses me off, and I can tell that ad was intentionally meant to do this because...
'Cause all ads are intentional.
Well, yeah, but this ad is not meant for you to click on the ad. It's meant for you to accidentally click it, basically just to make the ad revenue. Like, it has nothing to do with directing people to the product. Because whenever I use, a lot of people don't use it, but I use auto scroll all the time, which is the middle mouse button. When you click it in, the auto scroll thing pops up, and you don't have to scroll the mouse. You just move your
mouse.
cursor. Yeah. Now, what this means for me is I just click it and I can scroll down the page while I'm reading because I read pretty fast, so I don't have to move my mouse. I just pretty much leave it and read. Well, I also use the middle mouse button because what it does is it opens new tabs without having to right click. So I just click the mouse button, I open all the links from the page, I read that page, then I go to the next one. I read them in order. Well, when I click on the ad with auto scroll, it doesn't open a new page, which means the ad is not meant to do that. All it's meant to do is trick people, because if it was meant to be a regular ad, it would open the new page like a normal ad would.
Right.
So it's obviously just there to make you accidentally click it when you focus the page.
Also Flash.
And yeah, I was going to talk about that too. Flash ads
You can't
are...
open Flash.
They're starting to disappear more, though, I would say.
Yeah,
They are, but when they're there,
Oh, yeah.
they're even worse than they used to
I'll
be.
let you say something about that, then I'll say something about it. Cause
You can just use on-demand loading for those, and then they just show up as little circles.
You can, but the problem is that I don't like to do that, because a lot of sites now, bad sites, I mentioned, but there are a lot of restaurant websites and stuff like that that have flash ads that are all separated from each other. So you have to go through and click every flash ad to make sure they all load in conjunction so you can navigate the site. This happens a lot to me now. So I had to turn that shit off because it bothered me. So anyway, that's beside the point. So the other worst ads...
Flash can't die quick enough.
wait, I want to say something about the Flash ones, unless you're still talking about
Well,
that.
this one is a flash, but you go ahead and say your thing first.
So I go to ESPN.com a lot, and this is the site that has most often the most pissed off Flash ads. It's like those ones that cover like the middle of the screen all the way across horizontally, but then like there's holes in them where like you can actually see the normal site as well, and then like it's just like a person outline of a person on the side. There's like stuff like you're trying to find the close button somewhere, and they make it the same color as the background because it's so big and there's holes, so you don't know where. It's not just a straight up full square.
Yeah, I was going to talk about one of those actually. These other new ads, and sometimes they're flash, which makes it twice as bad, are massive overlay ads that have been And I'm not talking about the ones where it goes, click here to continue to your page.
Right.
Those are bad, but those are like whatever.
Also, they scroll, so you want to try and click the X.
Scrolling
You gotta wait.
Yes.
Fucking asshole.
Yes, there's ones that
hate
move
those so
across the
much.
page, which is like, then it becomes, that's what it is, it's punch the monkey basically. You can't get rid of the ad, you're trying to click the close thing, which is moving with the ad. It's impossible. And then they also, I've talked about this ad before, I think, on the podcast for a minute, but when we were talking about the New Girl, that show, The New Girl that came out. Well, on Yahoo, their homepage of Yahoo, there was an ad for The New Girl that was one of those where it overlaid the entire page. But the best thing about this ad is there was no close button on it. And all you could do was wait for the animation to finish, which took 10 seconds. Oh. It took 10 seconds to finish. And all it was Zooey Deschanel with her stupid fucking ugly haircut dancing across the screen in this one ad, like in a yellow box, just her dancing. And then she got to the end, and then the close button popped up.
Yeah.
Like, I have to wait until she's done dancing. By the time she finished, I closed the ad, and I was like, I don't want to read Yahoo anymore. I'm done. I just closed the page.
People wonder why Yahoo's in third place for search engines.
Well, it's actually in first place for visits for their site.
Their websites, it gets a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, and then the worst one though, this is the worst one I've seen. I've only seen a couple times, but it's starting to come around. I think is the Magic Invisible ad, which is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I'm hoping this is what. Okay,
I've seen ads now. It's probably not what you're talking about. There's this new type where it's an overlay, but what happens is the ad doesn't load with the ad targeting zone. So what'll happen is an overlay is there that you can click on for the ad, but the ad doesn't show up yet. So it's just the page. And you click...
You actually can't do anything on the website.
You literally can't use the site, because if you click the site at any point, it goes to the ad. It's just not... The whole site is an ad.
That's bad. I haven't seen that.
And I've seen it, and I had it... The problem is like, what the fuck is wrong with this? And I waited a few seconds, and the ad slowly came up. Now, I can't tell... I'm pretty sure it's intentional, that they don't want the ad to come up yet, so that you'll accidentally click it before the ad loads, not knowing that it's an ad.
Another one is ads with fake close buttons, like they have. It's like with a red X in the top right. You never click that. You got to look in the bottom right for like the actual close ad button.
Yeah.
The worst thing I've seen, and they've been doing it for months now. IGN. If you go to their site,
King of ads.
Yeah, IGN's
dude.
bad.
This is pretty amazing. What they do is they take a screenshot of their main page, right? And they make an ad out of it. And then So
It's
it
genius
pops
so
up.
far.
It pops up, and it looks like a main page. And the only way you'll know is they only do it maybe like once a day. So like the stories won't match. That's the only reason why you know. You're like, oh, this looks kind of outdated.
Well,
And
if
then-
you see a hand over everything
Yeah,
as well.
but then, so most people probably start clicking, and they're screwed.
Yeah.
But the first time I saw it, I was like, "This doesn't look right. Like, this looks weird because it wasn't scaled right either. That's the other thing. It's a slightly off because they're trying to fit everything in.
That's insane.
And then what will happen is about after 5 seconds, because they want you to click on it, then the ad blows through, which totally kills your computer. Blows through the main page, like so it'll be like Gears of War 3, and
like
like
massive people blowing through it,
yeah,
yeah.
like the guy goes through it and it breaks and it just kills your computer, and you're sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
Dude, you know what that is? That's a prank I used to play on people where you screenshot their desktop and send
Yeah.
out their
Yeah,
wallpaper
it's
and
so
then get rid
great.
of their icons. That's all they're doing. That's the same thing.
Another ad I got to say about video ads is, why can you not change the volume on almost every single video ad?
Ads are TV commercials, which are like twice as loud as everything else. They
Dude.
always do that.
I can't believe you cannot mute a
You
video
can't change
ad.
the
It's
volume on the
ridiculous.
video slider
Yeah.
until the ad's done. Yeah.
Such bullshit. And you know what? They've tried multiple times with television to change that, where they have to make it the same volume as the show.
Yeah.
And
Never
they,
passes.
lobbyists always kill it.
So I'm complaining about these ads, but I'm not complaining about the people making the ads. I hate those people. I
fucking hate those people.
I hope they get cancer. But you know what? The real people who are to blame for all these problems are the people doing QA on these sites, on these ads.
Well, people don't listen
they,
to QA though.
oh, they should. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
don't.
saying. I'm not saying that it's QA's fault specifically. I'm saying that it's the site's fault though, because
Yeah.
they should be regulating which
Oh,
ads
yeah,
can go
yeah.
on their site, and they don't do it. They just let their advertisers do whatever the fuck they want.
Well, with the IGM one, they thought of that. No one else
yeah, it's
came
horrible.
to them and said, "Oh, make this fake page, and then we'll have, Tony Hawk shred through it and break through the."
All right, Ryan's browsing the internet.
Ryan's
I think,
checking.
I think we
his-
need to move on.
Ryan's checking.
No, I'm
his,
checking something for
finances or something.
for an update on the.
So anyway, all I can say about these ad guys,
They are pretty clever.
they are clever and they're smarter than me apparently because I keep falling for them. But there's getting a point where these sites that have these ads on them, I'm just going to stop going to them. Like Rotten Tomatoes, I did it a few times and I was reading the site and I just went, nope, I'm done.
By the way, click
Not
all
reading
the ads on
anymore.
our videos. Thanks.
Huh?
We
I didn't
should-
hear what you said.
Click all the
Look at all
ads
the
on our
ads
videos.
Oh yeah, don't. They're horrible.
Yeah. Sorry.
So,
We're gonna move on. The movies. Alex, tell us about movies.
So, top 3 movies this weekend, last weekend, whatever the hell you want to call it. Immortals, number 1, 35 million. Jack and Jill, number 2, 26 million. Puss in Boots, number 3, 24 million.
and they're saying that Puss in Boots may take it over, but that's what we're going with.
Yeah, so, we're on a Saturday right now, so we're not sure yet. So, Mike went 3-0. Ryan went 2-1. Me and Benson went 1-2. So, Benson's still in the lead. Ryan, you're one behind me, and Mike, you're still a little ways behind.
Yeah, I'm way behind.
Went 3-0 though.
Yeah,
So,
I
we
may
got
still
some,
lose it though because Jack and Jill's
Puss in Boots.
trending kind of bad.
we got some good movies coming out this week. We got Happy Feet 2
Oh my god.
and Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 1.
Okay, I kind of want to see Breaking Dawn because it looks fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyways, I gotta tell a story about Jack and Jill. I heard that one of the main threads in that in that movie, right? I wondered. I was like, what does Adam Sandler do in this fucking movie? Because he lives in a mansion, right? Well, he directs television commercials, right? Well,
Okay.
he has. You can see where this is going.
Yeah.
So he has a client in Dunkin' Donuts. You see me? You see what's going on here? This is picture perfect with golden mustard, by the way. So, if you've ever seen that movie, you'll know what I mean. But anyways, so Al Pacino's in the movie, right? And he has a thing for Jill because, yeah.
Because
he gets paid money,
Because that
too.
works for the
Yeah.
plot. That's why.
So he uses Jill to get Al Pacino to do a Dunkin' Chino ad with Al Pacino, and I guess they actually shoot ads in the movie, which are fake ads, but might as well not be.
Well, Dunkin' Donuts obviously paid.
Yeah, obviously they did. So Al Pacino now is a spokesperson for Dunkin' Donuts. He doesn't think he is, but he is.
Yeah.
So good job. You did.
By taking that movie, he is now, basically.
Hooah!
That's bad.
So did Al Pacino end up getting together with Adam Sandler?
I don't know. I didn't hear that part.
There's one thing
I don't want to know.
America runs on Duncan!
There is one thing I want to talk about here, which is before we make our picks, which are all going to be the same probably.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to mention here. What the fuck is this new trend of book series translated to movies where they're allowed to split books into multiple movies?
It's called money.
All because fucking Harry Potter did it the one time. No one minds this apparently. Everyone thinks it's great.
Yeah, because they're idiots.
I get more movies now.
What,
Yeah, that's why I think so.
Everyone say about Harry Potter 7, Part 1 and 2? They said, man, these movies are slow. Yeah, because they stretched it out. It's dumb.
They said the
Though
second one was good. And the
that's the
one was
problem.
awful,
They said
yeah.
the second one they said was the best Harry Potter movie. And it's like,
And they only said that because it was the last one.
I think that's probably why. But that doesn't matter though because it's already out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's out of the bag. So now this is going to happen with every movie. Why can't they do these with like?
Why couldn't they do it with an actual movie like, I don't know, Lord of the Rings that was actually worth splitting up into 2 parts instead of rushing it?
Lord of the Rings was split into 3 parts.
Well, that was because there's 3 different books, but I mean...
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the last movie could have benefited from...
that was originally supposed to be 2 parts.
Yeah.
And Peter Jackson...
So that was a douche move.
He proposed it as 2-part, as a 2-part
see.
movie. And the studio was like, well, wouldn't that have to be 3? Because that doesn't make any sense. And he was like, I'm going to be rich. And then he was.
Okay.
So, our picks, they're all the same, right? Sure.
Twilight, Happy Feet, Immortals.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, fuck you, Happy Feet. Fuck you in the fucking ass.
Have you seen the trailer?
Dude. I can't...
So bad.
The trailer,
It's not been stated.
baby Happy
It has
Feets.
not been stated on this podcast, but I legitimately think Happy Feet 1 is one of the worst movies ever made.
I will never,
it won
I will
an
never watch
Oscar.
that. I refuse to watch that. I
Dude,
won't.
it has no plot. It is awful.
It's just all singing.
It's irritating.
CG
movie.
penguins.
So let's talk
singing.
about Twilight. I've been told spoilers of what happens in the book, which apparently happens. I don't know if it happens in part 1
I
or
can
part
tell
2.
you the plot of the books. I already know it.
It sounds
No,
fucking.
don't. We may have some.
It
Twilight.
sounds
don't
fucking
want spoilers.
hilarious. What happens with her baby? Obviously, she's pregnant in the trailer. So
Yes.
Yeah, basically, it's the kingdom.
No, it's different. That would be hilarious.
basically,
though.
it's aliens.
in a lot of ways, pretty much.
Which sounds fucking hilarious.
Well, what's great is at the end of Breaking Dawn, this is a spoiler, you find out that they're actually in the World Trade Center and it gets hit by a plane.
They find the gold in the
Vampires did 9/11.
They find the gold in the bottom, right?
Yeah, they find the golden
Yeah,
bottom.
it's under. It's
Funds the
underneath.
werewolf front.
They're not only fast runners. They're also fast diggers. So they just go tunnel right through.
Oh my god.
Fast diggers.
You know what? Whatever bullshit we said would be a better movie than whatever.
I just hope there's a really graphic birth scene of that baby just coming
Yeah.
out of Kristen Stewart's vagina.
Dude,
that's
I hope it's a
stretched out.
CG Robert Pattinson head. As a baby. Like, popping out.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen until the next
Looks
one.
like that old movie where Danny DeVito is the baby in that. What movie was that?
Oh,
Look
God,
who's
what
talking
was that?
later. He's a
I don't
dog.
Oh,
remember.
well, dude, that movie's awful.
All right.
Okay,
can't
we're
remember what it
going to go top 5. Number 5, same siding.
Yeah.
So this is something that all of us probably hate. I noticed this when me and Kevin were eating
Yeah.
some food. When a couple, they sit at a 4-person table or a booth, and they sit on the same side instead of across from each other.
Bullshit.
So fucking stupid.
I have done this a couple times. But
Did you do it, or did someone do it to
I
you?
did it. I did
Are you
it.
serious?
Now here's why.
You sat down and someone sat
you get a
next.
hand
They
job?
sat next to you, or what?
No, Ellie and I have sat on the same side before.
We watched
Very
it.
rare situations.
They don't watch TV.
No. It was usually because they had this awesome ass couch on one side and they had shitty chairs on the other side. And it's like, man, I want that fucking couch. This is
I always just
bullshit.
take the shitty chair because I just hate when people do
Well,
that.
I've only done it like a couple times. Like I had like a wobbly chair and I'm like,
When you see people on dates do this, though, if I ever sat over someone sat next to me, like, excuse me, get up and just walk around, I would.
yes.
February 14th.
That would actually
That's when it
work.
happens.
There should at least be a debate on whether you should same side at like okay, you know, the situation here is not ideal for face-to-face. Because
Step one, is it Valentine's Day?
no, I hate that. When I was a
Valentine's Day
server,
is meaningless. Who cares?
when I was a server, oh my god, Valentine's Day, everyone would same-side it. And it was just like the most inauthentic nonsense
Yeah, it's bullshit.
ever.
It's bullshit.
It's like, I got a blowjob. Well, same-side it. You know, like, great.
Just have a sign to hold up. Tell them
No
that.
same siding.
I wish it was mandatory that they had to come in the next day, too. I want to see what they do. Because they'd go from this, like, to, like, yeah, I have diarrhea. Or like,
I'll have
job sucks.
too. I'll have the bloomin' onion.
Yeah.
Okay, now number 4, the stop judging the Duggars.
Yeah, guys, stop judging the Duggars.
Does anyone know who they are?
I never knew their last name. I always looked at them as those fucking assholes who are tax assholes that get huge tax breaks for being dumb shits.
We should explain that the Duggars is a family that has how many? 19 kids?
They're stars of the show 19 Kids and Counting.
Oh, that's on
It
TLC,
was-
right? The worst channel on television.
Yes.
Do you think if one of the
TLC,
kids
yeah,
dies,
the
they
Lori
would
channel.
change the name to 18 Kids in Counting?
Then they'll have a single line through the number and put it like in crayon, like it's
18
nice.
Kids and Counting
So
down.
do they have jobs, or is their tax break so big that they just
Dude.
let all of it?
They get $5,600 in tax exemptions for each kid they have.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
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 Think about that. Think of how much bullshit. Think about how angry that should make you. Because you would get about like $10,000 tax return every year probably with your... Anyways.
I tried to
This
close
is boring
this,
stuff. What's fun
Blade.
is the wife almost died last time. She almost died because her
On number
uterus-
19?
It's a
her-
clown car.
What was
Yeah.
it, on number 19 or what?
Yeah, on number 19, her uterus is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like a prize fighter that fought way too long. It's like Muhammad Ali versus Larry Holmes. Like he's just stumbling around, like, oh yeah, baby.
Is she trying to propagate her species or something? Why the fuck is
She Mormon?
She is Mormon,
Of course.
I think she's mentally ill. I'm sorry.
You think she's addicted to having children?
Yes, I personally do. She hasn't
There's a
been
good chance of
she,
that.
She has not had a kid inside her for more than like 4 months since they've
Wow.
been married or something like that.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
crazy.
I'm sorry, you're mentally
How
ill.
is that? How is the sex good for the guy at that point?
Oh, it's not.
It's not. It's
Probably like throwing a cocktail weenie through a doorway.
You probably get what's it called? Shit, what? It's disgusting. It's like birthing.
Oh, unbirthing.
Birthing.
Okay,
your
we're
hand
done
in
with
like a
this
floppy
topic
vagina.
now.
Anyways, one more thing. The article that I linked is defending the Duggars, and her
Why?
Her point is that if people, just like how people say that we should be free to have abortions, because she's liberal, people should be free to have as many kids as they want. And I disagree, because
That's a
kids
tax
cost
burden.
money to the country, and they have abused their privilege. Fuck them.
You don't disagree with her having. You disagree with them getting tax breaks for having kids.
Yeah, they
Well,
got as many
yeah,
kids as they
absolutely, I
want.
do.
They're stupid
I-
for it, but they should not
Yeah,
be paid
Shit,
for
people
it.
should have to pay a surcharge if they have a kid.
I actually do agree that they should be allowed to. What I don't agree with is the fact that they get tax
Well,
breaks for it.
again,
That's
it's a
pretty
slippery
what
slope.
he's
You
saying.
can't stop it, but at the same time, I can think they're fucking assholes and
Oh yeah,
hate them.
Oh, yeah,
the
for
thing,
sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people are assholes, even though they're allowed to do what they do. But the fact is, though, like, what I think is that I don't mind getting a tax break for having a kid, because I think that in certain circumstances it makes sense, especially when.
But there should be a cutoff.
But yeah,
I know.
exactly. It should be like China, where you have 2 kids, great. You have no third kid, well, just fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
just
helping
being
you at all.
abusive.
You're just- yeah, because it's these people are obviously not caring about the kids. They're caring about having more kids.
Well,
That's
it's
why.
How you get into heaven?
We're getting into different topics, but I just think welfare should not be done through taxation, but through welfare. Because getting a big check once a year just makes me go, I'm gonna buy a TV. You know, like it's
Yeah.
not gonna help them. They're just gonna make stupid decisions.
Okay,
I do.
Number 3, Facebook and its 500-person investment threshold.
Yeah, this is.
I
good.
thought it was 5,000.
No, it's
500.
500. Yeah, so there's been a rule for around 40 plus years, that if you're a private company, you can only have 500 investors. Now, the reason why this is because the way the government looks at it is they go, well, if you have more than that, you're going to get into a situation where people don't really know what they're investing in, and it could go into like a slippery slope situation where people aren't going to have enough influence to really know what's going on, and there's a lot more room for a company to lie to them because they don't have. You're not going to get as much time with the board.
The more other investors
Yeah,
there
there's
are,
not enough time
the
with
less
the board. There's less
yeah.
transparency and whatnot.
Yeah, more investors there are. You can really put your thumb on the CEO and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
Right.
But when there's more, you can't do that. Well, Facebook has pretty much reached their threshold. They still need capital because even though
They're making millions.
they are actually making profits now, but with their growth strategy, they still need investments. So they need more investors. Well, they can't get any more. So this is forcing them to possibly go public. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay, now it's time for you to go public. Now all your financials will be completely public, and that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Well, Facebook doesn't like this because if the way it's slated, they would have to become an IPO in 2012. And with the markets the way they are, they're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to go public right now. This sucks.
Right.
So they basically created a bipartisan committee. Those are the best ones. Democrats and Republicans united to change the 500-person threshold to 2,000. Now let's think about this. They're already a $50 billion company, and they've just hit 500-person threshold. So unless they earn like $300 billion in revenues, they will never need to go public, which means that their company is completely like not
They're just free.
exposed.
Yeah.
Well, who thinks this is a good idea?
So the question is, on this bipartisan committee, how many of them have made
Investors.
contributions to Facebook?
Yeah. Exactly.
Probably all of them.
Investors think it's a good idea.
Well, of course they do. Well,
Some.
This is
I
interesting.
would say
There's gonna be a
some of them,
split.
some don't,
Yeah.
probably.
private
yeah.
investors love it, but the stock
I
market
want some
hates it.
stock. Let's go.
I understand why Facebook doesn't want to do it. They see the euro and they're like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
shit, I don't.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't want to go in
No,
there.
it's sensible that they don't want to, but the fact is, like, they shouldn't have the power to change a law just because they don't want to go public. That's
Yeah.
not our problem,
And
basically.
Also, the other problem with that is that I lost my train of thought.
Okay, we're going to move on then
let's
because we
move
still
on.
got a couple more. Number 2, Ryanair is making in-flight porn app. So this airline company, where is it out of?
It's out of Ireland, I
Ireland?
think.
Yeah, Ryanair. They're going to release an app for tablets and I guess iPads and Android tablets or whatnot. They'll let you watch porn.
On the
First
flight.
off, I've got a couple questions. I'm going to ignore the whole why is this a bad idea on the airplane sort of thing.
Yeah.
First off, why don't they just release internet on the airplane so you can just go to whatever porn site you want to?
Because they can't charge for that.
So the first thing I ever thought of was,
That
hey,
question
hey
is-
Jerry, you want to share a lesbo porn? Yeah.
Halvesies!
Yeah.
My other question is, how are they going to enforce it? I mean, like, a lot of airlines nowadays have the in-flight wireless, and you can charge for that. I'm assuming if they want you to get this porn app, they're going to have to let you have an internet access so you can download the
Oh,
app.
but they can just block it, though.
I-
That's what they're going to do. And I don't think they have internet on their flights right now because it's a budget airline. So literally, it's only going to be for porn.
And also,
I'm
you
sure
know,
they'll open it up. but-
legal rules of certain people underage not being allowed to watch or whatever. What's the deal with that? Just kids all sitting all over the plane.
Well, you can prove it basically.
also,
by
this is
credit
going to
card.
make the bathroom.
Well, no,
times
no.
go
I mean,
way
like,
up.
there's a kid sitting right here, and I'm right here.
Great point. I don't know. That would be some type of sexual abuse. It would. Seriously.
Hey, little Charlie, check it out.
Yeah. Muff Divers 13. I was pumped. I haven't seen 13 yet, just 1 through 9.
I'm not much for censorship, but there's pretty much no reason why this should exist.
Now, let's explain that Ryanair was also the ones who debated if they should start charging to use the bathroom a couple of years ago. This is the same airline that did that.
You know what? I would have been like, go ahead. I'll just shit right on your floor.
Yeah,
I think that's what
I
the
would
fuck
do that too.
happened.
I'd just piss all over the seat.
You're like, well,
and sit there for the next hour.
No, I'd piss in front, like in front, and just
Gotta
all over
arc
it.
I'm sorry I didn't have a file.
Okay, number
Yeah.
1.
Hey, can I have a cup?
No, they probably had a coin slot. Like,
You piss in the cup and then pull. Ah! Just fling it.
Number 1 quote from Meg Whitman on HP. Meg Whitman's quote on WebOS, quote, "It is not exactly obvious what we should be doing here." So obviously, HP got a new board of director, or a new CEO. Sorry, the board of directors choose Meg Whitman as the CEO.
which we heavily criticized.
Yes. The first thing she did is decide not to sell her cash cow in the PC business, which I guess was a good decision.
Yeah.
The second thing she said is, I don't know what the fuck to do with WebOS. And she said this to a group of WebOS developers.
And investors and to press people that were in. There were
Yes.
some press people in
Yeah.
that.
How did the
call.
stock do after that?
Oh, it dropped 4 points.
Nice.
Or 4%, sorry.
4%.
Yeah.
4%. That's pretty
She
good.
said it as, quote, the economics of this business is tough, and that she needs another way to create an app ecosystem. So let me get this straight. You're the CEO of a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company. That's tough?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I thought it was easy.
She should just release a statement that just says, "Help."
Help.
Help.
She also said things get more complicated when we add in the phones.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. That was one.
We don't know what to do
What
with
does that
software.
mean?
No, she's talking about WebOS as the software.
Right.
But if you add in the phones, ugh.
You mean the phones that are the main thing that it's used
Is she
on?
for real? Is this,
Yeah.
She is
She
for real.
bought
She's just
Skype.
an idiot.
And then sold it back for less to the
Yeah,
people we bought it
we've
from.
talked about that.
She is stupid.
She's incompetent.
And we also got a bonus one this week. The Atlas Shrugged movie came out on DVD.
Well, actually, it didn't come out yet because they had to recall their first shipment of 100,000 DVDs because they put the wrong quote on the box. It was supposed to say,
You have it?
yeah, I have it. God, this article's written so terribly. Well, it's from Gawker, by the way. So that's
Say it.
So it's supposed to say Ayn Rand's timeless novel of courage and self-interest and responsible self-interest comes to life. That's what it's supposed to say.
Yes.
But what it said instead is Ayn Rand's timeless novel of courage and self-sacrifice comes to life, which is pretty much the opposite of Randian thought. Like, it's the antithesis of his thought process.
Self-sacrifice.
Hey, you gotta sacrifice the ability to shit on other people for not having bootstraps.
Dude, I do not know how that could possibly happen, but that's great because they're going to lose their ass on that now. So good.
That's
job.
a lot of money to lose.
Yeah.
That's like entire first print.
Also, 100. You really think you're going to sell 100,000 of those?
Yeah, they're all in New Hampshire.
That movie did not do well. They're all in New
It did
Hampshire.
really bad.
It did really, really bad.
What,
So-
they plan on making like 2 more?
Well, they were, but they're not now. Because they don't have
Can't
any
wait
money.
for Fountainhead.
Okay, so that's our podcast. Again, if you want to leave us any messages, it's podcast@T40's.com or 218-666-8407. Thanks for listening. Catch you on the flip side.
Bye-bye.